to share with you what it means to become iconic and why it matters. All right, welcome everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. Before we go ahead and get started, let me introduce myself for those of you that I may not know. My name is Ekene. I am a feminine leadership coach. Primarily, they call me the Iconic Women's Coach because I work with women who are iconic. Either they are already living and being in their iconic selves, or they're iconic in the making. I help women move from success to significance. And today I want to share with you what it means to become iconic, because today is a very special day. Let me tell you, today is a very special day. We are unveiling our global icon list, our global 100. We selected 100 women that we feel across the globe are iconic. And I'm going to explain what that means, right? And of course, we cannot possibly mention everybody, right? So you're going to know some people who are iconic who are not on this list, and you're going to discover some people on this list. So at 12 o'clock, make sure you go to my page, because I'm going to be unveiling this list, and I hope you'll be inspired. We know that we can't mention everybody, but we wanted to celebrate some of the women who are doing amazing things, and I'm going to tell you what it means to be iconic as far as I am concerned, okay? The acronym Iconic is something that I created. All right, no one else. That's my iconic acronym. I created it because of the work that I was doing, and I felt like it was a divine download. The women that I've been serving, and the women that I am connected to, and the women that I see and admire, are women who are answering the call to be iconic. I believe each and every one of us, male and female, are called to be iconic. What does it mean to be iconic? There can only be one you. You were literally created to fill a unique need. You were created with intention. God created you specially. Every single thing about you, including the things you think are weaknesses, were created in service of your iconicness. And what does that mean? I believe a person, when they are iconic, what they are is inspirational. They are both inspired and inspirational. Inspired by the will of God, inspired by the call of God, but they are inspirational to everyone around them. When you really step fully into your being as an iconic person, you inspire people just by the way you show up. There's some of you that if you let people see you fully, they would just be blown away, and they would feel so empowered to go out and be their own full selves. So that's the first thing. The second thing an iconic woman is courageous. There are so many people who have amazing ideas, amazing things inside of them, but they don't have the courage to bring it forth. I know that I used to be on that table years and years ago, because everything I'm doing today, I've had these ideas for years, but if you don't have the courage to share them, it's like you're writing these fantastic books that are never published. You have these great ideas in your notebook, they're never shared. You have great performances in you. You're singing for your family. You never get it out there. You are preaching to your dogs and your community, but you're never putting it out there really, like you're just your friends. You're preaching to the choir. You're not transforming the lives. You have to have the courage to take what you have inside of you and share it with the world. And these women have operated from a place of courage. The O stands for original. Original. When you are original, no one can duplicate you. No one can copy you. They can try, but you're going to keep originating. You're going to keep being you. You can take things that I do. A lot of people try, right? If I do something, someone else might try to do exactly the same thing, but they cannot take your essence. No one can. They can take my words, but they can't take the way I say the words, right? The more original you are, the more you stand out. I'm going to talk about that in the why section of why you need to become iconic. The N is necessary. The women that we are celebrating today are women who recognize that they're necessary. When you know you're necessary, you move different. When you don't understand that you're necessary, you allow your emotions to hold you back. You don't treat yourself with regard. There's the boundaries. A lot of the people that I connect with, let me give you a quick story. I remember a woman years ago. This is before I came into my iconic understanding, right? This is probably about 9 years ago. It's interesting now because we're friends now. But back then, about 9 years ago, I was just beginning to think about getting into this space, right? I hadn't done any coaching certifications or anything like that. I kind of knew I had a call, but I didn't really know. And I sent her a message, and this is for anyone who sent someone a message. I want to speak to you. I sent her a message online. I admired her. She was moving and grooving, doing her thing. And I sent her a message and I said, I love what you do. Is it possible that I can sit with you? I'd love to learn from you, right? And she sent me back a very polite message. And she said, oh, thank you so much for your kind words. The only way I work with people is as clients. And here's my consultation fee. Here's my coaching fee. And I was like, initially, I was a bit taken aback because I was at that immature place. Just real talk. I was in a very immature place where I felt like just because I said I like what you do, it's almost like I felt entitled to what she had to offer. So I was initially taken aback. And then when I sat with it and the Holy Spirit worked on me, yeah, a laborer is worthy of their wages. Yeah, if you want to sit with her, you just can't pick her brain. You have to pay her for her work. Yeah, she's entitled to set boundaries around the work that she does, because if she does not, it will not be sustainable. This word is for someone here. When you recognize that what you carry, you are necessary, you recognize that you need to put sustainable systems in place, including boundaries around your work, so that you can continue to do the work that God has called you to do. When you recognize that you are necessary, you treat your body in a different way. Right? You sleep, you fuel your body, you move your body. This is not about a pursuit of perfection, how it should look to people, because a lot of people want to look like they treat themselves well, so it's not about being slim or whatever. I know a lot of people who are slim that are deeply unhealthy. They don't take care of themselves. They starve because they want to look a certain way. No, you treat yourself with regard. You show yourself compassion because you know you're necessary. And when you know you're necessary, you don't let yourself off the hook. You don't say, oh, I don't feel like doing it today. There's some people, I don't know who's on the table here, but I know I used to be on this table. I used to be in this boat. Let me use another way of putting it. I used to be in this boat where I would not show up based on how I felt. Or if there are not enough people, I wouldn't show up. I feel, I was inconsistent. You're not going to grow until you get consistent. And consistency comes with recognizing that you're necessary. When you recognize that even if I only talk to one person, that one person needs to hear me, it's necessary. You show up regardless. You show up. You don't let your emotions play games with you. I've shown up through all kinds of things. If you sign up for something with me, I've shown up through great emotional pain. I've shown up through back aches. I'm not saying that you don't, take care of yourself. Clearly you should, but you don't give yourself excuses to not show up. There was somebody there are a lot of very talented people, but because they refuse to be disciplined around how they show up, their businesses never grow. There was a person, I was just looking at something today, and I was just looking back at the messages, and she's someone that has great talent. She's brilliant. Her money is funny. Let me put it that way, as far as from her business, because she cannot command high dollars because she's inconsistent. So today there's this excuse, tomorrow this other thing happened, and the third day this other thing happened. And you keep allowing those things, and I'm looking at it like, I'm only going to tolerate these excuses for so long as a client. I was at another thing the other day, and this service provider is consistently late. Consistently. Not late one time, not late twice, like consistently, and very late. And we're all sitting there waiting for her, right? And she's 15 minutes late, and we can see her coming in, and she's sauntering in kind of slowly. I'm like, ma'am, do you recognize that your inability to hold yourself accountable to a higher standard is actually creating an inability to create a higher level of quality of life for yourself? So when you know you're necessary, you show up differently. It's a game changer. The next thing around Iconic is the I. You are intentional. Sometimes the reason why you're inconsistent is that you're not intentional. So you don't look at your life, you don't make a whole life plan. In my course, one of the things I give people is a tool to life planning. You have to, a whole masterclass in life planning. When you start thinking about, okay, here's my life. Here's what I'm called to do. Here's the way I'm going to show up. You start thinking very differently. There are things I don't do, and I'm unapologetic about it. There are places I won't go. I'm unapologetic about it. There are people I won't connect to, and I'm unapologetic about it, because I have to be intentional with my time, with my resources, and there are people that I want to connect to. And I'm like, how can I serve? How can I be connected to you? How can I help? How can I further your mission? I'm intentional with my money, right? I'm unapologetic about the way I spend my money and the way I invest my money. I don't owe anybody anything. So you can judge, you can make your own assumptions, whatever, right? Some people are so busy trying to prove to other people that they've made it. They're using all of their money that they are not stocking up for the next level. They're not planning for where God is taking you next. I know my next year, where I'm going, so I know what I've invested in. When you see photos and branding and all of those things, it's not for vanity, it's for where my next level, for what I'm meant to do. Some of you, that's part of the investing that you need to do. Some of you need to invest on your inner self. I was just talking to a friend of mine, and I was telling her about there was something that we were discussing, and I said, yeah, I just got certified in that. And she's like, I didn't know you got certified in that. I was like, yeah, last year, this year. And I quietly acquire knowledge when I see a gap, when I see something that I feel a call to. I will go. I'm very big on studying to show myself approved. So I trust and believe, if I offer you something, I have grounded myself in it. And I acquired that certification. It was not cheap. Spent thousands and thousands of dollars. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on elevating my performance, elevating my ability to be an extraordinary coach. I do not play with it. It is a calling, because I know I'm necessary. I'm intentional about that. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on legal fees this year. Thousands, actually tens of thousands of dollars on protecting assets, because my business has assets. Our Iconic Womanhood trademark, we have several trademarks that we filed, right? Our copyrighted things that we have, my work is copyrighted. Try to come for it. You'll find out. We have some lawyers, right? So, because you need to protect your assets. When you recognize you're necessary, you protect. So I'm intentional about those things. Iconic women are intentional. You're intentional about your resources. Your money is a resource. I've shared this information before about the parable of the talents, right? And we often think about talents just as in your gifts and your talent. Talents were a measure of money in those days. You are going to be accountable for how you use your money. Are you a steward of your money? Your money is meant to move your purpose work, your kingdom work forward. So you have to be intentional. The final C used to stand for confident. It can stand for confident, because you do have to be confident to be an iconic woman. But, I think it's also, if you're going to be iconic, you need to be compelling. People need to be compelled, like, yeah, I have to go. I have to talk to her. One thing I don't get in my DMs is people complaining about the price of my things. Yes, there are many people that feel like, oh, it's out of their reach, and that's okay. It's okay for things to be aspirational. I'm not for everybody. I cannot, dilute the quality of what I offer in order to create something for everybody. We have opportunities that are available. I have people in my inbox saying, oh, I'd love to take the Iconic Womanhood course. I'm saving up my coins. Whenever I see that, I'm like, go girl. I love it, because yeah, there are things I'm saving up my coins for. There are things I know I want to go to. There's one particular thing I want to attend. It's $50,000 and it's worth every penny. I'm not ready to plunk down $50,000 on something like that just yet, but the day will come. Actually, it's on my plan very, very soon, right? And I'm willing to plan for it. It's because that thing is so compelling. When you have people constantly nickeling and diming you, trying to knock you down, is because you haven't shared how compelling it is. So when I get someone saying, I really want to attend, I really want to be there, one day I'm going to be there, I'm working towards it, I say, awesome. I know that I'm doing my job in sharing the level of value. I'm doing my job, and you need to do yours, because we're called to be compelling. In your personal life, are you compelling? In your professional life, are you compelling? These are things that becoming iconic, that's what it means to be iconic. And the woman we're going to celebrate in just about 26 minutes. On my page, you're going to see a list of 100 women. They fit in these categories. And some of them are women that are very well known. Some of them are not as well known. You're going to begin to see them. And this year we have a brand new category. This is our community icons, women who have been celebrated as iconic from their community. So a lot of those women, you're not even going to know who they are, but their community, they nominated them and said, hey, we just want to celebrate this person. We want to honor them. And you should be honoring women in your community and telling people that, you know what, I see what you're doing and I think you're awesome. And in fact, when this list comes up, I would love for you to share it and tag somebody and say, this woman is on this list and I just want to honor her. She's been doing great work. Even if they don't know who you are, go ahead and tag it. Plus, you never know. Could open a door for some networking. So I am excited about this. I'm excited about our list. Last year, we wanted to, celebrate 100 women. We did, but we didn't really give it enough weight and enough support. This year, we're working towards that. Next year, we're going to level up even more. So I've talked about what it means to be iconic. Let's talk about why it's important to be iconic. Because you might be sitting here and saying, okay, that sounds good for them. And you don't realize that you need to be iconic. Let me tell you, what got you here will not get you there. And next year, I feel like there's a shaking. You can't afford to go into 2022 with business as usual. You will be shaken out. You will find yourself in a very bad place. You need to go into next year thinking, you know what, I cannot play games. I need to level up. Every single person needs to be thinking, next year, I am going to my next level. I just announced that I'm going to be attending Ibukun Awushika's event in Dubai in March. And not only am I attending that event, I already have 3 spots. I'm taking a small exclusive group of women. So you're going to have to, if you're interested, send me a DM and I'm going to send you an application, because this spots are only for my inner circle typically, but I want to open it up a little bit, but I want to make sure that you have prepared, because I'm taking people through a beautiful transformation experience. And it's going to be luxury, it's going to be elevation, right? And it's a small community of women, and I want to make sure that it's a good fit. So I'm taking a small cohort of women, and we are all going to be attending Mrs. Awushika's event together. If you don't know who Ibukun Awushika is, whether you're Nigerian or not, you should totally check her out. She's an extraordinary woman, extremely accomplished. I've had the pleasure of sitting with her in her home, talking with her. I'm part of helping with this conference that she's putting together. Why did I just lose my train of thought, right? Old age. I reject it in Jesus' name, okay? But she is a woman that embodies feminine leadership. As accomplished as she is, and she is extremely accomplished in any country. She is one of the most humble women I've encountered. She is so graceful and gracious. She's kind and she loves God. So whenever I admire her, she's been a mentor in my head. I feel privileged to be able to speak to her and talk with her because she is just an extraordinary woman and she is elegant. So if you don't know who she is, go look her up. I just posted her on my stories. And you should really plan to come to Dubai, because she's collaborating with the Dubai Tourism Board to do this conference. And I have decided that we will attend her conference. It's 3 days. So I'm having a 7-day experience, because it is like 18 hours to fly to Dubai. I'm not flying there for just 3 days. No. And when we go, I've designed an extraordinary experience for the women who will come, and we will attend her powerful, trust me, I'm on the planning committee. I know it is a powerful conference together. Thank you. Miss Attila said, you look gorgeous. Look, new year, new hair. Prepare yourselves. Next year, hey, I'm going all the way. All right. So I decided I wanted a different look from my curly look typically. So what y'all think? What do y'all think? And I'm in sequins because we are celebrating Iconic Woman. So, hey, you should be iconic. Now, let me talk about why it's important to be iconic for next year. Thank you, ladies. It is important because you need to stand out. You cannot continue to just try. You think your work is going to speak for itself. It's not. Your work is not going to speak for itself. You need to have an incredible personal brand. You need to have that. If you want to be someone who does well in your career, whether you're a corporate maven, if you're an entrepreneur, you certainly need to elevate. And it's not just the look, because so many people invest. I have worked with people who have spent a ton of money on the look. They spent a ton of money on the photo shoots, getting the stylist, getting the videos, getting all of those things, right? And it doesn't work because they haven't done the inner work. Because, and let me tell you how you know it doesn't work. It doesn't convert. Because a powerful, iconic personal brand should convert. You should have new opportunities coming to you as a result. You should have clients coming to you as a result. If it's not converting, as pretty as it may look, people may hit like, it is not iconic. Oh, my pastor is on here, y'all. Say hi to Pastor Mildred. Pastor Mildred is my soul sister, and she's my pastor, whether she knows it or not, my personal pastor. She's also an iconic woman. Go check her out. If you're not following her and you want to talk about relationships and marrying well, hey, had I known Pastor Mildred then, whoa, hey, it would have been a different story, right? Y'all go check her out. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Bubbling Brook. Thank you, Dr. Chi. Thank you, guys, right? So it's important that you stand out, because when you stand out, your business, your profits will explode. You don't have to go chasing. You don't have to hustle. It'll just come effortlessly. I promise you. Your profits, all of my corporate work has come effortlessly. And corporate work starts in the 5-figure range. Let me just help you know that, right? Number one. Number two, right? If you are in a career, if you're a business, if you're a corporate maven, that's what I'm calling you guys. You're a corporate icon. When you have a powerful brand, because a lot of corporate women do not understand this. They don't work to really define their brand. And next year, I have something coming up called Launch Iconic. And it's been born out of the women that I've served. So if you want to learn more about it, come with your dollars. It's not going to be a small something, because I want to help people have an authentic understanding of this. I've referred people and they've been frustrated. I've worked with people, I've been frustrated. So God gave me a vision. I said, okay, 2022 is a next level thing about an authentic way to do it. Because sometimes you work with someone and they help package you and you're like, this is not me. And so you pull back. It has to be authentic, and it has to be compelling. It has to be iconic. And when you're a corporate person, a lot of women, when they work for like a big company, they let the title be the brand or the company be the brand, right? And so you could work for one of these Fortune 100, Fortune 500, Fortune 50 companies, and that's really prestigious, and you let it be the brand. That is a dangerous place to be, because what happens if you leave the title? What happens if you leave the company? People don't know you. What's best is that you leverage that. And that's one of the things I teach people in my mastermind. You leverage your existing collateral, all the things you have, in order to really build a powerful, iconic personal brand. So in the Iconic Woman Mastermind, a lot of the women that come in have existing collateral that's amazing. Whether it's their job, their work experience, whether some of them are coaches, ministers, some of them are consultants, right? But they haven't really set themselves apart. I'm going to help you set yourself apart. And by the way, if you are not ready for the mastermind and you're still thinking about it, we have Iconic Womanhood Live, January 28th and 29th. I am going to be teaching these concepts, and I have other people who have actually who have gone through the work, who are going to be teaching in breakout sessions and workshops, and it's holistic. Because the other thing people tell me, people in my DMs a lot around, man, I want to find a man, I want love. Why shouldn't you want love? There's no shame in it. Who doesn't want love? Love is a beautiful thing. Men are delicious, okay? the right man. Good men. Good men are delicious. We don't know demons this year. Everybody, if you're single, say no demons. No Yoruba or any other kind of demons. We don't want any broken, any difficult, any toxic men. No. We want delicious, wholesome. We want some good men this year. Good men are wonderful. Those women that have wonderful husbands, I'm always like, celebrate your husbands. Celebrate your amazing husbands, because amazing husbands are a gift, right? So women are often in my DMs talking about, I'm not attracting the kind of man I want to attract. Well, yeah, if you haven't done your work, you're not going to attract him. There's so much noise. Do you know what men have to contend with? There's so much that they're seeing constantly. You have to stand out. And it's not just about how you look. You have to understand the depth of it. You have to understand the depth of it. So you have to stand out. This is why you have to be iconic. Iconic women also are able to bring forth innovative ideas. Gone are the days that you're just copying and pasting. That's why I'm not big on, when you come to me, I don't have a 5-step that you do and that's going to be your key. I don't do that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I just don't do that. Because I really want you to understand how to go into yourself and bring up your innovative ideas. I really do believe that eyes have not seen, nor have ears heard. So I don't believe, for me, and even I'm not big on, I don't paint by numbers. I want you to show me a way to think. That's what I do with people. I help them think differently so that even long after you may never talk to me again, you now know how to think. You know how to, the process of innovation. You know the process. So, I can go through and bring out my innovative ideas. 2022 and beyond is a season of innovation. If you think you're going to bring to us what we've seen before, old things, no, the old things have passed away. We're not interested in your old things. We're interested in the new. This is a new season, so bring the new. When you bring the new in this new season, I promise you're going to see your profits explode. If you're a business owner, if you are in the corporate space and you bring the new to your organization, you will be that person who is invited to every table because they need innovative ideas. Iconic women bring forth that. That's why you need to be iconic. You need to understand your calling. You need to understand your calling. That's why you need to be iconic. Now, how do you become iconic? I'm laughing because I'm excited. Because I'm going to be sharing and deep diving into this at our Iconic Womanhood Live Conference. I see Iconic Womanhood Mag. Y'all say hi to my team member on here. Boss, I think that's you. If you're here, put that in the chat box, the link that people can register so I can pin it. It's January 28th and 29th, 2-day conference, right? And it's $197. Yes, get your money together right now. No excuses. Go register right now. That's the early bird price. It's going to go up to $297. You don't wait and start DMing me. That will be the price. The price is the price. Let me tell you, come 2022. What is it that DJ Khaled said? Yesterday's price is not today's price. You're still in the yesterday price grace period. You're in the yesterday's price grace period. Take advantage of it because come 2022, we are moving into today's price. So don't waste your time. Don't talk yourself out of it. Register because I'm going to be going through and deep diving into all of these concepts. So let me just give it to you high level. And then I'm going to hop off because we are going to be unveiling our global icon list in 12 minutes. So first is you have to bring your whole self. You do. So many women bring only a portion of themselves. You are hiding parts of yourself. And I want you to know, in order to be iconic, it's not just the pretty parts. You have to bring the wounded parts too. Let me tell you, someone told me, I see that you used to, I feel like this is someone from my past when I was younger. She knew me when I was younger. And I felt like the way she positioned it, it was almost like she was trying to make me feel bad. I was like, I don't feel bad for my wounds. I don't feel bad for my brokenness. I don't feel bad for my scars. I don't feel bad that I used to be insecure. I don't feel bad that I used to lack confidence. I don't feel bad that I didn't know who I was. I don't feel bad for my mistakes. All of those things make me who I am today. You can't shame me for my past. My past is part of my purpose. The path that I have walked allows me to walk this path powerfully. When you see me strutting in those heels and swinging my hips, all that is around me, that presence that people say they see when they see me, it is because I come into the room fully embodied with everything that is me. Both my magic and my pain, both my vulnerability and my brilliance. The fact that I'm a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time, I bring it all to the table. There's so many women, I've had clients who are so perfect. And I'm like, the reason why you are not breaking through is you're so perfect, you're not sharing your vulnerability. And nobody can connect to you. They can only sit and admire you. And you're so enamored of the admiration, you are missing the opportunity to be part of their transformation. Because iconic women are not just aspirational, they are inspirational, and vulnerability is the magic sauce. So you have to be able to bring all of you to the table, all of you. Some people bring only their vulnerability and their weakness. Excuse me, oh my God, I'm dealing with so much, I'm so sorry. You come from this place because you only bring your brokenness. But your brokenness is not going to make you iconic. You want people to feel sorry for you. You're enamored. See, it's opposite. Some people are addicted to the admiration. Other people are addicted to the pity. You're addicted to the compassion that comes along with pity. So you want people to pity you all the time. You continue to tell your sad story. Next year, put your sad story in its box. Put your power on everything has to be on the table. Yes, I have some sad stories. I can tell you some stories. Okay? But you can no longer afford to be addicted to the admiration or the pity. You can't. Put those things in their place. And you have to answer the high calling of God upon your life. And that is how you begin to show up. You have to shift your mindset. Your mindset. You can't come in thinking, I don't want to do too much. I don't want people to think I'm this and that and the other. I'm humble. Listen, humility is not about you not answering the call of God. Was Moses not humble when he walked into the Pharaoh's palace and said, let my people go? Imagine if Moses had said, I just want to be humble. And he didn't boldly go. Imagine if the disciples that Jesus said, go and get the donkey. Jesus, when he wanted to go to Jerusalem, he said, go to this place and tell them I have need of it. Jesus he wasn't pompous, but he wasn't somebody that had any false humility. He stood powerfully in who he was, and you have to follow suit. Gone are the days, I just like to be in the background. There will be seasons when you're going to be in the background. I myself, there are times when I'm in the background. And there are times when I'm on stage and I'm called to the forefront and I need to show up and do what I'm called to do. It doesn't matter whether I'm in the spotlight or I'm in the, backstage. I'm still who I am. I'm still working according to the call of God. And so you have to shift out of those things, those old, outdated mindsets. Oh, a woman should be this, a woman should be that. Forget all of that. A woman should be called. And you need to be spirit-led. And in this season, God may say, do this. He may say, do that. He may ask you to do things that have not been done before. So you need to be called. And you need to be spirit-led. And that's that divine alignment. The final thing I'm going to tell you that you need, if you want to be iconic, community. Community. You can no longer afford to be around people who shade you, who are cruel and careless with their tongues. There are some people that I do not engage with. I don't have any problem with them. I don't dislike them. Some people are even people that I like organically. They're part of my organic community. But because they're careless with their tongue and they're cruel to me, I do not go around them. And I don't care what they think or don't think. If you're going to be casually cruel, every time I see you, you want to say something nasty to me. Every time I see you, you want to do some nice, nasty maneuvering. I don't have time for that. No. First of all, I'm too old. Secondly, I don't have time. It means that you don't like me for whatever reason, and that's good. Go do you. I don't have to be liked by everybody, but I certainly am not going to surround myself with people who are going to keep talking down to me. Stop surrounding yourself with people who treat you badly. Stop surrounding yourself with people who talk to you any kind of way. Stop getting into relationship with people who diminish you. Some of you cannot bring forth your power because you're in a survival mode in your relationship. You have connected yourself to somebody who negates you every day. When you wake up, he talks to you crazy. He tells you how you're this, you're too that. Get away from those people. You have to be in an affirming community. Jesus did not stay in Nazareth. Can we say that again? He didn't stay in Nazareth. When he went back to Nazareth, they said, he's not Joseph, the carpenter's son. They sneered. They had so little faith that he could not perform miracles there. He could not perform many miracles there. Let me be clear. Jesus did not stay there. He went to places where he was loved and affirmed. And his message has spread around the world thousands and thousands of years later. Some of you have so much inside of you, but you can't bring it forth because you have stayed in places where all of your energy is just like your boom, dart, arrow, arrow, arrow. You're busy healing, constantly healing. Healing takes energy from you. You cannot do what God has called you to do if all of your energy is being used to heal. I was talking to a client some time ago, and we were talking about, she was, I was saying to her, listen, forgive yourself for not being able to manifest all that you had inside of you then, because she was in a very toxic relationship. And she's left the toxic relationship, and you should just see happening. Because when you were there, you couldn't give voice to it. Because sometimes a toxic relationship is not obvious, by the way. It doesn't mean that you have to have bruises on your body. You could have bruises on your soul. You could have bruises on your soul. Those are deep. And you can't even give voice to it. No one will believe you when you say it. But you're so busy fighting to protect the essence of yourself. There's no way you can manifest what God has inside of you. And yes, sometimes those people are family. Set boundaries. Set boundaries. Set boundaries by saying enough. No, don't talk to me that way. Listen, another thing is, and this is a whole thing, we're going to be talking about this Iconic Womanhood Live. I can't talk about it all on here. So you guys go buy your ticket because we're going to go deep into navigating these relationships. Because sometimes the problem is you too. Sometimes you need to set those boundaries. You need to teach people how to treat you. You need to let people know, I'm not going to accept that anymore. You have to behave better to me, and I'm going to behave better to you, and I'm going to treat myself with respect. If you treat yourself with disrespect, and you expect people to respect you, people are not going to go beyond the standard that you allow for yourself, by the way. So if you treat yourself any kind of way, then you cannot be mad when people treat you any kind of way. If you refuse to elevate, you cannot be mad when people try to drag you down to their level. If you're cheap with yourself, you can't be mad when people are cheap with you. So you have to set a standard for yourself. And the first thing you're going to do, okay? First thing, you're going to go to Iconic Womanhood Live. Iconic Womanhood Live. Some kind person put that in the chat box. IconicWomanhood.com/live. IconicWomanhood.com/live. Or you can go to the link in my bio and register today. Register today. Because at that event, you are going to connect to what? You are going to connect to why. And you are going to become empowered for the how. Because in 2022, we are going to be iconic. So now in 2 minutes, tune in to my page. I am going to be announcing our Global 100. Thank you, Rhoda. Global icons, our 100 global icons for 2021. And the question I have for you right now is, are you going to be on our 2022 list? God bless you. God bless you. Thank you, Miss Attila. IconicWomanhood.com/live. Make sure you go register and give somebody a gift. This is a gift you can give to someone. Register for them. Show up, give them a gift. Come to this event. We are going to break it all the way down. 2 days, in depth, IconicWomanhood.com/live. See you soon. God bless.